¿Cómo están? Bienvenidos acá en el estudio, desde Hollywood. Soy Lucas Gordon, acá reportando con este grandioso compositor, es cantante, es actor y encima tiene un montón de... Bueno, acá tengo algunos de sus discos que lo voy a mostrar en un ratito. Y es nada más y nada menos que Giancarlo Floridia. Giancarlo, how are you doing?
You pronounced it fantastic. The way you say my name, Giancarlo Floridia.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Okay.
I'm impressed.
Oh, thank you.
Most people are, you really got it.
How will be in English?
In English, is I guess translated John
Carlo.
Or John Charles. I hate that name. So if you want to bother me, say, hey, John Charles.
Charles.
So Giancarlo or John Carlo or John Charles or whatever. Any Italian name. I know people for 10 years and they sometimes call me Gio or Giovanni or Giuseppe. I'm like, it's not even my name. And they know me for 10 years. I don't know why they do that.
Giancarlo, I'm impressed for all your career so far that I've been checking in the last few months. We met at NAM show,
yeah.
And we have some friends in common. And tell me how was starting your music career here in the US, in LA?
Yeah, so I started getting serious at 20 years old. Basically, I had a band called Shattered that was up for consideration for Sony Music, John Kolodner's team. It was called Portrait Records. They put out that last Rat album. They did a Great White album, and then there was a band called Union Underground. We were one of the other bands up for consideration. They were going to do a Damn Yankees, a Cinderella, I think. And my band was up for consideration. A guy I still know, his name's John Weekland and Rod Kukla, they were like the A&R guys, and we did a showcase, and we were on our way. I opened up for Wasp, Rat, Slaughter, King's X, and the band was going very well in Los Angeles, and the label folded. So we did the showcase, and then I don't think the Great White and the Rat album sold as much as they were expecting. And they kind of that album kind of, not grungy, but I don't think, that one with...
It was in the 90s.
It's like 2000. It was in 2000. So I was 20, so I'm getting old. So after that, I had some family issues, and I decided to take my kids and leave, and I moved to Ohio. I was like doing really well, and I just had to make a decision, and I said to the universe, I said, if it's ever meant to be, it's going to happen. So when I moved away to Ohio, I heard the production of Fabrizio Grossi,
the
Starbreaker with Tony Harnell album. I said, wow.
Tony, yeah.
I said, if I'm going to make a comeback, this is the guy. Because it had an 80s feel, but it had progressive, and it had a modern approach to the lyrics. I'm like, wow, I would love to work with this producer, and it was Fabrizio. So I made a goal. I took my kids, I came back, and a few years later, he ended up producing the album, and I ended up getting a record deal, and then my life changed.
Bueno, lo que decía es que empezó su banda anterior estaba por un sello, estaban viendo varias bandas que mencionó ahí, como Rat, también Union Underground, que los conozco, y resulta que cuando iban a sacar el disco de él, los otros discos que estaban sacando no estaban funcionando, y el sello terminó cerrando. Entonces, bueno, él abrió para un montón de bandas que mencionó, como Wasp y todas esas bandas que son grandes acá, y en su momento decidió enfocarse en su familia, así que simplemente agarró, se fue a Ohio y estuvo un tiempo ahí hasta que se reconectó con este productor, Fabrizio Grossi, que está con todo el mundo. Y ahí le dijo, bueno, vení que te voy a meter con Tony Harnell, que casualmente hablé ayer con él. Y bueno, decidió volver a Los Ángeles y a volver a intentar. Okay, so you came back and started.
So I came back. I had a 5-song. Before I left California, I was working with Juan Proce from Rat. He produced a 5-song thing up at his studio, The Cellar. And I learned a lot from Juan. All my background.
Juan translates my interview with Stephen Percy. He was the translator when I didn't speak that well,
Juan's great.
Yeah.
He's vocal you hear on any of my stuff, the background vocals I owe to Juan. He would bring me in the studio and he'd say, man, you could sing really high and you can do all this stuff. And I was like 22, I think, when I did that. Wow. And I'm like, I don't understand. And he's like, I know you can do it. And he put me in the studio, and he has a studio, the main room. He moved me into the bathroom so I could go back in and out, talk to him. And I started learning how to layer vocals because of Juan. And I use that on all my material now. So thank you, Juan. I owe you big time for that. So he taught me all of my background vocal, how to layer. I didn't know how to do that until I met Juan.
Yeah. Bueno, cuando estamos hablando de Juan Crucier, que es bajista de Rat, y bueno, Juan le hizo todos los coros en sus discos y le enseñó cómo cantar, cómo vocabulizar, cómo llegar a las distintas notas, y le debe todo a Juan. Y bueno, ahí está comentando acerca aparte que es un excelente músico, excelente compositor también. And now you are working. Well, let's go back to the present. I mean, you are working. Le voy a preguntar acerca de lo que está haciendo ahora con Robert Sweet. You are doing, I think, something with Robert.
Yeah. So can I hold that?
Yeah.
So here is the new Clean Break album that I just wrote 2 songs for. We produced the music videos for it too. I'm in the 3rd video, so that's cool. Clean Break, so it's James Durbin from American Idol and Quiet Riot, Robert Sweet, my favorite drummer. I got some funny stories about him on that. Perry Richardson from Firehouse, and Mike Flint's from Riot. And not only did I get a write on it, I got to produce the videos with Enzo and be in the 3rd video. Oh, we had so much fun. My daughter's in the video too. She plays the flight stewardess on the Coming Home video. So I'm in the video with my daughter. So at the beginning, I'm playing cards with James. And the album's taken off. We actually hit number 2 on Amazon in Japan. Wow. We beat Ozzy and everything. Like, Ozzy's like, when you beat Ozzy in the charts in Amazon in Japan, you hit it. So we're waiting for the sales. I'm hoping it's going to crack Billboard sales next week. So. But it hit that high in Japan. And so Frontiers for America and Europe, and Ward Records in Japan for the Japan release. And it's been a great experience. So that leads me to where I'm at right now with writing with Alessandro and sometime currently going to do with Michael Sweet that we'll talk about at another time. But the Clean Break album opened up for me to work with Michael Sweet, who was impressed with the work I had done on here, and my new demos that I sent to Alessandro. I sent them to Michael now also, because we produce the iconic videos. So I had a week I got to spend with Michael and his wife Lisa, and Michael and I really hit it off. And it's kind of funny because Tim Gaines joined us on our 3rd album. Yeah. I mean, we can kind of go through that. So people were like, when I picked Michael up from the airport, we cleared the air right away, because people didn't know Tim was out of Stryper. And I had an interview with KNAC, and I said, Tim, you want to come on the interview? And he did, and we got, it was so 3 months of drama because he made the announcement that he wasn't a Stryper. So I thought Michael Sweet was going to hate me. And I'm like, I'm sorry, we weren't trying to. And he's like, it's all cool. And me and Michael are like buddies now. And it developed into me and Michael are working right now on something very special that I'm just waiting for Michael to make the full announcement, but hopefully within the next few weeks.
Let's talk about whatever you can say, but let me translate this. Bueno, esto lo acaba de sacar él. Él está en la parte de composición, ¿ok? Lo que él escribió todo esto. Aparte, trabajó en la parte de los videos con mi querido amigo Enzo Maceo. Y bueno, obviamente está trabajando acá con Robert Sweet, con Perry Richardson, que es el actual bajista de Stryper, y bueno, fue bajista de Firehouse. Michael Flynn de Riot, okay, y James Durbin, que él estuvo en what band was James?
He was in American Idol, Quiet Riot also. Yeah, and he has some solo albums. Durbin is his solo band. They're on Frontiers too.
Durbin. Bueno, está como solista, estuvo como Quiet Riot, cantante de Quiet Riot, y está súper contento porque esto le abrió las puertas para trabajar con Alessandro Del Vecchio, que a su vez le abrió las puertas con Frontiers, el sello Frontiers, así que él está en este momento con varios proyectos, pero también haciendo cosas indirectamente o tal vez directamente con Frontiers en cuestión de composición, y aparte de lo que vamos a hablar ahora de Michael Sweet también. Acá está con Robert, con su hermano, y va a estar con Michael Sweet. quiero preguntar un poquito si algo más quiere hablar. Anything else you want to say to your fans?
Thank you. I mean, it's nice. I've met a lot of people, and I went through a lot to get here, you know, having to leave the state and coming back, and I was a single dad at the time. It was a lot of work. So when I see stories of people that I've done stuff for, people have emailed me and said they listened to the album and helped them with their cancer battle, or, you know, people from all over the world too, people from Japan, from the UK, Italy, of course, that's where our label was. Or I meet people, even now with the videos I've done with Enzo, like I meet people that have seen the LA Guns video and love it, like just randomly, like at Macy's when I'm checking out and the kid at the counter's like, oh, I like your striper button on your jacket. I'm like, yeah. It's like, I love the new LA Guns. I'm like, oh, really? You like that? Oh, yeah. I wrote that. It's like, no, you didn't. They're like, no, you don't. I'm like, look, here's my phone. That's my daughter. They're like, oh, my God. So it's been cool, and I appreciate it. And I hope that I'm doing something to make people happy. But like at NAMM, I met a lot of people that I didn't know. They come up and tell me something about myself, or, you know, and they would say, oh, I'm a fan of what you did. Or, so, you know, it's awesome. I just want to say thank you. And I'm going to keep going. Now I'm going to just push harder than ever, especially with the thing with Frontiers.
Yeah.
It keeps going up, so I'm going to keep bringing it, man.
Lo que quiero decir es gracias con todo lo que ha pasado, bueno, toda la gente que he conocido. De repente estamos hablando de Eric Gans y él hizo los videos con Enzo y todo ese tipo de cosas que le han traído un montón de buenas experiencias en su vida. Así que, how people can find you?
Just Google Face Edge. That's a great name about Face. That's a great thing about that name. When I picked the name, I wanted something you can just Google, and there's no, because I've seen other bands, they changed. I remember there was a band on Frontiers called Action, and I liked the song that they had. So you know what I did? I typed in Action. Do you know what happens when you type in the word Action?
Yeah.
So I said, if I come up with a band, it's got to. Oh, that's a whole other story for another time. But yeah, I think it came up with all sorts of interesting stuff. And so I'm like, if I have a name, it's gonna have to be something original. And
easy to find.
Yeah, so Faith came from my daughter's name. I always liked the name Queensryche, and I was like, Faith's Edge. There's a long story behind it.
All together, right?
Yeah, and that's the name, you know, and I like it. It looks good on paper too.
So, la gente lo puede ubicar Faith Edge todo junto, ok, obviamente .com en la página. El nombre justamente se le voy a preguntar y lo dijo. Básicamente estaba buscando un nombre que sea fácil de encontrar porque él, por ejemplo, había visto una banda llamada Acción. Y claro, cuando él escribió, lo googleó Acción, lo pareció mis cosas, incluso cosas porno, dije yo, ahí es donde se rió. Y él quería realmente algo que pueda ser fácil de encontrar y por eso Faith Edge, que viene todo junto porque Faith es el nombre de la hija y la banda era como Queensryche, todo junto. Así que buenísimo. Giancarlo, thank you for doing this. Thank you.
That was easy. You make it easy.
Yeah,
you make it very easy. I like that.
Yeah, that's the whole goal, you know. And, would you like to sign this?
Yeah, so I'll sign these. We got all these, and you can do what you want.
After the camera stops. Thank you.
Thank you, and everybody, let's rock.
Me va a filmar eso ahora cuando cortamos. Así que bueno, ahí nos vemos. Seguimos en el estudio.